and it's like there's so many.
Right.
Spider-Man.
I mean, between him and his clone gets a little bit.
There's spiders, man. Mm-hmm. The Spider-Man that's made up of little spiders.
Spider-Man
The nightmare fuel that is spiders, man. Who wins in a fight, man spider or man bat?
Man spider or man bat? That's a good question. I would have to think man spider has the advantage.
But bats eat spiders.
But the spider is like the size of
I know.
but when the spider is the size of a bat, that's a different equation.
Haven't you ever dreamed about eating like a steak the size of you?
Because the man spider has like Spider-Man powers, and the man bat's sort of just a weird bat. And they're both borderline feral in terms of intelligence, as I recall. I don't think there's any versions of them that are like smart at all. But I gotta say man spider, because I mean the setup for it is built in, like man bat just flying around and then bam web.
But I think he would sense it with his sonar sense.
Might.
That's the one advantage, other than flight.
He might sense it with his sonar sense. That's possible. Well, here's my thought. Here's my thought then too. Is if he does sense it, he might get then redirected into other webs.
How many webs does man spider got?
As many as he can make. He's fucking man spider.
Yeah, you don't think that he's gonna sense all the webs?
Well, no. What I'm thinking there is it's not that he just turns left and runs into another spider web. He turns and he's like, oh, there's another spider web, and then he keeps on turning, and then man spider just hiding out on one of those spider webs and just jumps on it at that point, and then it's fighting, and then I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what that.
I still gotta give it to man spider because I think Spider-Man beats. I think Spider-Man beats Batman most of the time because no prep time, and also this isn't even Batman because he's dumb.
More particularly, Man Bat is not Batman at all.
That's true. He's not the same guy. That's a bigger thing. But
he's just a dude.
But he's the point being that he lacks Batman's main strength.
Bats.
And meanwhile, Man Spider has he has all the spider powers on top of being a freaking giant Spider-Man. So he has car lifting strength, whereas Man Bat has he's kind of strong. He's stronger than most things.
Yeah, I don't remember how strong he actually is.
He's not super strong. He's as strong as a man-sized bat, which is pretty strong, but
oh yes,
not like throw Volkswagen strong.
Well, bats have always been known for their incredible muscles and not brittle bones.
I mean, well, again, we're talking about Man Bat. He doesn't have brittle bones because he's Man Bat. He has the man bones, not the bat bones.
It'd be real messed up if Man Spider had the spider bones instead of the man bones. Mm-hmm. His exoskeleton would not support him at that size.
I think he does have an exoskeleton, but he still manages to make it work. I don't know.
You might have both. I don't know.
He could have both. That would be the really freaky thing.
He's just all bones.
That would be.
He's just calcified. He's now a statue man.
Well, I mean, to be fair,
that would be the extra freaky.
Insects
thing.
are weird like that. They're not. It's not like there's exactly they're more like hydraulically powered than muscle powered.
Oh, that, yeah. No, it's, yeah. Bugs are weird.
Yep. Bugs are weird.
Yeah.
So, speaking of weird, what is it? What episode are we at?
We're on
Where are you, Marty?
I don't know.
You wrote this, you tell us. No, this is episode 21 of the season, of the 22 episode season. This one is called Closer Look.
The penultimate episode.
Yes.
For John Oliver.
The penultimate episode by people who know what penultimate means. And once again, the German title makes way more sense than this one.
Yeah.
This one doesn't not make sense, but the German one makes more sense.
Yes, it's just better.
Yeah. So the cold open on this one.
It's just,
What is the German title?
it's just German superior watchmaking, superior title crafting.
Yeah.
That's what they're known for.
Yeah. It's a Die Doppelgangerin, just the doppelganger.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this one is titled Closer Look.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
I mean, one of them gives it away.
It's true. One of them does give it.
Yeah,
away.
but it's not
But
exactly
to be fair,
hidden.
it's not. It's like immediately.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that.
So the cold open, Griff has lured another model onto the beach to take pictures of.
As is his way.
Yeah.
He has one superpower. Griff does have one superpower, and
Yeah.
it is luring women to take pictures of them.
Yeah. There's a funny one later, too.
No, well, like all of them.
I know, but the
That's
one later...
the
is
one,
more
the
taking-
one later is much more extreme.
Yeah.
But that's been a
I
joke
know,
before
I know,
too.
I know.
I'm just saying.
Anyway, as I was saying... So, like, this model is wearing an outfit I can only describe as I Dream of Harem.
Yeah. It is like the Spirit Store knockoff of the Princess Jasmine costume.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, but, like, yeah. In all of the sluttiness that it entails.
The implied sluttiness, of course.
And so she's saying, like, this model is saying how she wants to be, like, the next action star. Mm-hmm. That's, like, her goal.
Yeah, it's really weird. She just keeps on going about this, like,
Yeah.
apropos of nothing, basically.
Yeah. And, like, there's a manager dude there, and he... Like, I don't want to describe him as I've described other characters, but again, he's like the Mirror Universe's Zach Morris.
I mean,
How many Mirror Universe with Zach Morrises are
I
there?
don't know.
apparently a lot.
They keep
Apparently,
finding
this
more, 'cause
takes place in the Saved by the Bell multiverse.
That is 100% who this guy is, though.
This is kind of the dark timeline Zach Morris, who's dark timeline Zach Morris, who's but several years after he
Yeah.
graduates.
Yeah, this is after Kelly Kapowski died in a car accident sophomore year.
So this is Image Comics, man.
Oh, yeah.
Zach Morris.
Kelly died in sophomore year, so he grew super cynical and bitter.
Yeah.
And he went to business school, and this is him.
Yeah. And so, like, Griff is like...
Also insecure. That's a big
Yes. Which,
Anyway.
I mean, that goes with Zach Morris.
thing. He's a little insecure.
He's pretty insecure.
Well, no, he's insecure until he isn't. Like when he
Right, but Kelly Kapowski died before that moment.
true. That's part of it.
Yeah.
Is that this is without Kelly, he just is permanently
Yeah.
insecure.
This Zach Morris murdered Screech in a parking lot.
Right, 100%. He probably did. He probably after the accident, he murdered Screech in a
Yeah.
parking lot.
He definitely called Lisa Turtle a slur.
I mean, he probably he called. I think he called everybody slurs after that.
Yeah, it was really weird. Anyway,
He started drinking. It was bad. Anyway, onto his
yeah.
shit.
That's when Slater became The Rock. And
I'm trying to think. What would Slater's arc be? I'll think about that.
So, Griff is trying to, like, he asks her what she wants. She says she wants to be, like, this action star. And then so he's like, well, is this what you want to be, like, shot as then? Because, you know, you're wearing this ridiculous outfit. He's like, who's your favorite action star? She's like, Sly Stallone. He's like, yeah, Sly Stallone wouldn't be here dressed like a slutty genie. He's like, how would he be? He'd be stripped. He'd be bare-chested, holding a gun, and then the manager's like, what, you want to see her naked? You want to see her topless?
Yeah, he immediately goes to that. Oh, you want her shirt off, do you?
Yeah.
Not that she's wearing a shirt, really, but
Yeah. You want her pasties off, do you? And so then, yeah, and then that's just basically how the rest of the interaction between them goes until the guy tries to fight him. And then Griff's like, no, fuck you. And then it's just, the fight doesn't actually happen. Like, he takes a swing.
He just doesn't fight him.
Yeah, and Griff just, like, dodges him. Like, yeah, fuck you. Fuck off. This is over.
Yeah.
I don't need this shit.
Yeah, just leaves. I'm pretty sure the way Slater goes is he probably gets more serious about his relationships. So he probably would start.
No, he just turns into real life Mario Lopez. And I was Entertainment Tonight.
Well, no. That's what I was getting to. He gets more serious about his relationships, but he can't keep it up, so he just becomes Mario Lopez. Again, same brain cell, but yeah.
So after credits, there's like a press conference going on, and this is where we're introduced to ostensibly McKenna. She's like the owner of a swimwear company. It's being sold to another company, and so there's this press conference where this throwaway business guy who we're never going to see again. He's like, we're here to announce we're buying this company. It's great. It's blah blah blah, right? And then there's this really schleppy looking dude who's like,
he's very schleppy.
Yeah, he's like trying to like get McKenna. He's like, McKenna.
He's trying to work his way through the crowd.
Yeah, and like trying to shove his way through, and
press conference.
And like evidently he's like yelling that like she's supposed to be his wife, and you know they're breaking up, or he's trying to get a chance, and like
yeah, he's like you can't sell the business.
Yeah,
it's like your life.
Yeah, it's been like 20 years work, blah blah blah, and they try and get him away, and he's like, hey, that's my wife. Just let me go, blah blah blah. And then some tough guy just fucking decks him one and like throws him.
Yeah,
like get out of here.
Get out of here, you bum.
Yeah, she doesn't want you no more. Go. It's like every movie where some of these kids trying to get rid of a puppy.
Mm-hmm.
And
or one time, Bigfoot. I knew that would get it. I knew it would. I could see it.
So anyway, this Bigfoot of a husband now.
Well,
replace all of his scenes with Harry from Harry and the Hendersons, and the show is 100% better.
Well, yeah, Bigfoot has a husband. He married the $6 million man. That's right.
Yeah.
I don't know if they officially got married.
I can't remember. I just rewatched that show. Anyway, so the husband is next scene. He's talking to Hoff on the pier, and he's like, he's 100% convinced this McKenna is an imposter. And his proof is, I just feel it, man. Like, he has, like, no evidence at all.
But they do know each other, it's clear.
Yeah.
It's clear they're familiar with each other.
Yeah, Hoff knows.
He's not just a crazy lunatic, wild hair and everything. Just
yeah.
Like, my wife's an imposter. The aliens.
Hoff knows this guy.
My teeth told me.
Hoff knows McKenna. And, like, he's telling Hoff, like, things were better. Like, we were in contact. We weren't back together, but, like, you know, we were moving along. And then 6 weeks ago,
I met John Lithgow, and we got together.
Yeah. I moved in with his family for a little while. We worked things out, you know. Slept on the couch. And he just kicked me out. So he's like, yeah, we were talking again. And so, we were making progress on working things out. And then 6 weeks ago, she goes to get her eyes done. And now she's just like a fucking completely different... It's different now. And that's pretty much all his evidence.
Yeah, she wants nothing to do with him. She's cold and cut off.
Yeah. And that's...
To be fair, is clearly a very drastic change in attitude. But
so this is where Jesse goes to do Showgirls.
Right.
And
probably. I mean, this is Baywatch Nights version. Is Baywatch Nights just the dark timeline?
It might be.
Didn't think about that. Okay. Anyway.
With many, many Zach Morris.
The dark Saved by the Bell is just when you introduce more Zach Morrises. It's just like you have like 4 Zach Morris sides.
Well,
I think what happens
time
is
control powers like conflict with each other.
I think that every time he times out, it fractures the timeline with multiple Zach Morrises.
There might be multiple Zach Morrises and a few Parker Lewises in this universe. We just don't know. And that's what turned Zach Morris evil. Because Parker Lewis can't lose. And so Zach Morris can never beat him.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Bugs Bunny rules. That makes too much sense.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So the next scene, Donna is heading to a gym. And they really explain a lot of character motivation for a really dumb scene in this one, where she's going to a gym and she's in workout clothes. Hoff's like, "Oh, so you going to work out?" She's like, "Actually, it's an investment opportunity. I'm thinking about buying into this gym." And she's like, "Why do you work out, Hoff?" And he's like, "Fear." He's like, "I'm scared one day I won't be able to pull somebody out of the waves." Okay, that makes sense. That's a decent one.
He's a life.
But yeah,
it is set up for the shallow version of that.
Yeah. But also, even just framing it as fear instead of like duty or responsibility or anything, it's fear. He's scared of the failure of not being able to do it. But it's a good fear. But it's still,
when you fail with lifeguarding, people die.
Yeah. And then Donna's like, basically Donna just says attention. Says why she works out. She's like, no, if I walk into a room, I can't be ignored. Which just explains her character perfectly.
Yeah, we were talking about it.
Yeah.
Is that she is absent of shame.
Yeah.
And
there was that whole section about hip thrusting and while someone was getting kidnapped.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, she did not know.
She had nothing to do with the kidnapping. You're making it sound like she was just right next to the kidnappers, just thrusting away.
Or like distracting everybody while 2 people surreptitiously kidnap someone.
Mm-hmm.
So to try to get his eyes on McKenna, Hoff goes to her mansion, and like these guys, I'm still not exactly sure what they were. They roughed up the schlubby Bigfoot. And they're definitely acting kind of as intermediary, like bodyguard people, but then they're also not bodyguard. I don't know what they are. It's vague what their role exactly is.
Well, see, for rich people like this, they have people who just do things for them. That's basically it. That's what it comes down to, honestly.
Yeah,
because they're clearly very wealthy.
Yeah,
like I forget what her company is. A fashion company.
It's a swimwear company.
Swimwear, yeah. Swimwear. Like he said, 20 years. They've been at this for a while. It's a very profitable, popular company.
Yeah, and like she's evidently somewhat of a celebrity. Like there's been multiple news conferences and stuff with her talking about stuff.
Right, and the McKenna's role.
She's like the lemon that started Lululemon.
Yeah, well, like McKenna's role in the company is she's both the boss and like their first model too. So it's that sort of relationship where she had everything to do with building this thing.
It's like the hair club for men.
Yeah. So yeah, they've got a lot of money because they put a lot of effort into building this company, And yeah, so it's a huge fucking mansion. Like even in this show, this show they show a bunch of mansions. This is big even by their standards.
Yeah, this is the mansion that makes the other mansions look like doghouses.
Yeah.
And so Hoff pulls up, and the main guy, he's like immediately like, no, she's too busy, doesn't want to see you. And Hoff, being Hoff, does not know how to take no for an answer. Mm-hmm. As one of Hoff's superpowers. And so his line is, let me see her long enough for her to tell me she doesn't want to see me. And
well, yeah, he really pours it on.
Yeah.
In this particular scene.
And so, and again, we know that they know each other.
Right.
And so when he goes back there, she's just basically shooting down. Like, if you're here because of Dewey, like, no, fuck off. Like, I'm done with Dewey. And Hoff's like, well, you know, I'd try. And she's like, yeah, call me, we could do lunch sometime. That's like the big crux of this conversation. Right. She says this. This is like,
it's an important part of the conversation.
Yeah. And then when Hoff leaves, the main, like, I don't know, tough guy, and the least intimidating partner, like this guy.
Oh yeah.
The secondary tough is, yeah.
I'm not even sure how to describe it.
No, it's he's so bland. He's just a white dude. That's just all you can say about him.
To say he has a weak chin.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't look like John Hodgman, but he has John Hodgman energy.
John Hodgman energy.
He doesn't. He does not look like him. Let me think.
It's kind of like with
looks...
Yahtzee where he had to find the most generic bland person that he could find. So he has that one image of the one guy that has no expression on his face whatsoever.
He looks like a dude who should be in a commercial for some sort of pill. Looks like just the guy who, and I'm pretty sure he's not like one of the people who, you know, frolics in various drug commercials. He's just the dude who sort of tells you what it's about.
He's a guy who should be in an ad about Dockers being on sale at Target.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Yeah, he's just a guy. Yeah. I mean, I could see that being useful when you're doing shady stuff, just being as unassuming as possible. Yeah. But
that's definitely the way to go. Because I mean, if you just blend into everything.
He's like the dad in a McDonald's commercial from the mid-90s.
Yeah. Also accurate. Anyway.
Yeah.
But he tells tough guy A tells this guy he doesn't want Dewey or Hoff to be a problem.
Yeah.
He doesn't use those words, obviously. He doesn't say Hoff. But.
No. And so then when Hoff meets back up with Dewey, the husband, they're like, well, is it her? And he's like, you know, I don't know. And they're like, why? And he's like, reasons, man.
Yeah. He has similarly vague reasons. He's like, I think you're onto something, Dewey, but I don't have anything concrete.
Yeah.
That's
he's like,
what it comes down to.
He's like, she used to be nice.
Well, she used to be,
said we could do lunch sometime.
She was warm and touchy-feely. And now she's just cold and standoff.
And not even.
So we haven't gotten into vampires yet.
No.
Okay. And so yeah,
there'll be at least like 4 episodes.
And then Angie is like, "You guys have nothing. You're just saying shit at this point." Mm-hmm. And they're like, "Yeah, kinda." And so the next scene, Donna is at the bar, and for a brief moment, it looks like we finally found the thing Donna is not perfect at. But then it turns out she's good at this too.
Accidentally good at this.
Yeah. So she's trying to make a signature cocktail for the bar. And she's just made a whole bunch of stuff, and they all look pretty awful just from looking at it.
Yes. None of them look like they'd be good.
No. And Griff is like, is like talking to her, and she's like having him try these things, and they're all pretty awful at first.
Yeah, he tries one, and it's just like full of stuff.
Yeah, there's just like a lemon slice and an orange slice and stuff just like floating in it. Like not even like on the rim. There's one on the rim of the cup, but then there's other slices just floating in it.
It's like it's a mess.
Yeah.
And I forget what the problem was with that one.
I don't remember.
I forget what the problem was with that one. I remember the second one problem was that it was super sweet.
Yeah. A bunch of grenadine in it.
Too much grenadine.
Yeah. And then the model from the first scene comes in, and she says that her boyfriend, the manager, Evil Zach, is looking for Griff
because he wants to fight him.
Yeah, and Griff's like, well, "Fucking tell him to fuck off." Is basically.
I sort of kicked his ass without even trying last time.
Yeah.
It is embarrassing.
And then
Griff did to that man.
Yeah, and then the model just like grabs one of the cups and just like it's like not even like one that's presented. It's just
it was like the thing that she was like mixing it in like a blender.
Yeah.
Like a second like when Griff comes in and then she sets that aside and that's the thing that she.
Yeah, and so this model's just like, fuck, I'm drinking this. I don't care what it is.
Yeah. She's just like, I'm thirsty.
Yeah. Pretty much.
It's a real brain dead movie.
Yeah.
But
it's like the first half of like a commercial showing you what to do with Mr. Yuck stickers.
Yeah. Either that or like part of a wacky teen comedy where somebody drinks something and they pass out immediately. But it turns out that's a good one.
Yeah.
And that's
their drink now.
Yeah. Right, Donna came up with a name.
Yeah.
Like, she had a name for it, but
some bullshit name.
It was Perfect Nights.
Yeah, like I said, some bullshit name.
Yep. Because he had to stick nights in there. So.
Yeah.
That's why I remember.
Yeah. And he can't be werewolf on the beach yet.
Werewolf sticks on the beach.
So now Hoff, Dewey, and Angie are discussing how to get like hard evidence on this McKenna to see if it's really McKenna or not. And this is where it becomes crystal clear that Ellerby is not going to be in this episode.
Yeah.
Because they're sitting in the office and you're like, oh yeah, he's just not going to be in this one, is he? And so they come up, they're going to get fingerprints. They're going to get pretty much what they just planned on. They're going to get fingerprints.
Yeah.
They didn't. They didn't even come up with the actual plan yet. They just said, "Oh, we'll get fingerprints," and then.
Yeah, pretty much is that Angie needs to get in there and somehow get fingerprints.
And so this next scene is the scene that we were building up earlier with the most ridiculous photo thing for Griff yet. Right. Yeah, they're on the balcony of nights, and Griff is doing his next photo shoot, which is just a cavalcade of girls jumping on a little mini trampoline, and he's just taking pictures of them as they jump on the trampoline. Mm-hmm. What? Yeah. I'm pretty sure Griff invented the man show.
and got an old guy, just a couple mugs, doing ziggy zuggy, ziggy zuggy, hoi hoi.
Yeah. You roll Lou Rawls.
Lou Rawls as the fox.
Yeah.
Jazz Fox. And so it's pretty funny because Hoff is trying to get Griff to help, and Griff's like, "I'm busy taking these really sleazy pictures, man. Back off." It takes a little bit for Hoff, which is funny because like just a couple episodes ago, Griff was like fucking fawning over the Hoff.
Yeah.
And now he's done with it because he got trampoline girls, which makes sense.
I mean, well, see, what doesn't make sense is that he gets him to comply with it. He's like, okay, sure. Yeah. And then Griff immediately just shoos away the women.
Yeah, he's like, go, get out of here. Shooey skanks. Come on, get out of here. You're the Bigfoot now.
It's
You're the big.
yeah. It really. I would. It's 100% the nobody would be like, oh yeah, I'll work for you for free instead of do my actual job, which is much more fulfilling.
And also, like,
And also sexy ladies.
Dewey never even hired Hoff. He just asked.
Yeah, that's
no
true.
business arrangement.
This is just a favor for a friend.
Yeah.
So yeah, Griff has really nothing to gain here and everything to lose.
The one guy who can actually pay them decent money.
It's true. Yeah.
There's no money on
Well,
the table.
I mean, they have the whole divorce thing, so I'm not sure. He should have a lot of money,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know.
So what they basically hash out is that Griff is going to run point on this operation, and he's going to pose as somebody who has some pictures that McKenna ordered, and then Angie's just going to tag along.
Yeah, they do. They pull a move straight out of an RPG, where they call up McKenna, the dude, tough guy A, answers instead, of course, and Griff just does the talking, where he says like, "Oh,
I propose we refer to the two tough guys as Mac and PC.
Sure, no, yeah, right."
So Mac answers.
So Mac answers, right. And so Griff's like, oh yeah, I have these pictures that McKenna wanted. I'm supposed to hand deliver them and stuff. And the guy's like, sure, yeah, that's a thing that she wants, that she totally asked for.
Like he specifically asked
however,
when she ordered them, and he's like, oh, before she went to the.
They call it the fat farm.
Yeah.
Which is where she got her eyes done.
Yeah.
Presumably because plastic surgery and stuff.
Yeah.
That's my guess. He says before she went to the fat farm.
Yeah.
And so these guys are like, yeah, he just goes along with whatever.
Yeah.
It's got the image of like The Simpsons with all the fat kids being held up. Do one push up or pull up.
But yeah, and they just have Andy tag along when he goes to hand deliver these.
Yeah.
The funnier part too is that the photos are of the women he was just taking pictures of.
Yeah. They're like, just throw those in an envelope. They'll never know. And so when they show up at the mansion, like Mac, the bodyguard, is like, he meets them out front, right at the driveway, and they're like, here's the photos. He's like, cool, now fuck off. And they're like, shit, the plan didn't work. And so they're like, oh wait, shit, I gotta use the bathroom. Can I use the bathroom? Bathroom, man.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. And then they're like, yeah, me too. So both of them are like, I gotta use the bathroom. And so he's like, okay, and tells them where it is. And then like Angie slips off into like this little office area. Mm-hmm. And I can't even remember what she grabs. She grabs something.
Yeah, she got like a stapler or whatever.
Yeah, some bullshit. And while she's doing that, then the false McKenna comes in and like basically
spoilers, it's not really McKenna.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically the whole plot of the show from Jump Street.
Yeah.
She's like basically like, what are you doing here?
Yeah, why are you here?
And she's like, oh, I got turned around. I'm looking for the bathroom. And then fucking Mac comes in. She's like, yeah, I got. Where's that bathroom again?
It is gonna get it. It is a big building.
Yeah.
When Hoff went through it earlier, there's like 3 different shots of the inside this mansion.
Yeah.
On the way to get to the back of the mansion. So it's big ass building.
Yeah, she basically lives in a blue board.
Yeah.
And you notice the blue board has no bathrooms. And so they like Mac and McKenna kind of like have a little glance, but then nothing really comes of it.
Yeah, they do a little suspicious glance.
So then when they get back, there's like a few sets of prints on this MacGuffin they lifted. there's real McKenna's prints. There's also some people who just work in the house. And there's also this actress / cocktail waitress
From Missouri? Mississippi?
one of those places.
One of those. Ones with starts with M, has a bunch of eyes.
Yeah. So they're like, okay, we should look into her because she doesn't have any reason to have her prints on this thing.
Yeah, there's no reason she should be anywhere near this.
Yeah. And then we get Dewey, the sad Bigfoot, on the surfboard, surfing all sad and lonely.
Right. Yeah.
It's the saddest surfing I've ever seen.
It's pretty sad.
He's not even like really surfing. He's just like.
Well,
he's not even riding any waves or anything.
Well,
he's just out in the ocean, just paddling along.
He's just laid on and paddling.
Sad looking, like hang
Well,
dog.
it's sort of it's weird because I mean surfers do that to like get out there, but he looks like he's going in. So he's also like weirdly out in the middle of the ocean too.
Yeah, like not anywhere where the waves would actually break and you could catch anything.
Yeah, it's weird.
He's just out there.
It's like somebody just plopped him off in the middle of the ocean. He's like, hey, you get back on that surfboard, asshole.
Yeah.
Get out of here, Bigfoot.
Yeah. Go, get out of here. Nobody wants you anymore. You're a stupid Bigfoot surfboard.
Anyway.
And then we get the somebody in a speedboat.
Boat assassin.
Yeah.
Like an assassin that is a boat, or
Yes. He has become one with his boat.
He's
You
wearing.
can- you can
is that
tell-
even legal?
No.
That's why he's in international waters, off the coast of Malibu.
I mean, he's also an assassin at this point, so
It's not exactly.
assassin is considerably more illegal, I think. I'm not sure.
know.
I'm not sure how the laws go on boat fuckers, but I'm pretty sure assassination is a bit higher. I don't know.
Oh.
In any case, he's full black with motorcycle helmet.
Yeah.
Also black.
Yeah. And so he's like trying to hit Dewey. And like,
Doing a bad job of it.
yeah, he does a pretty bad job of it. It might be that the tint is too dark on that for the
It could be.
type of day it was.
Like
It's
the
pretty
first time,
overcast.
the first time I think he just went by to confirm identity. That's my
Possibly,
thought.
yeah. I was like,
That's my thought.
I was like, is he just trying to scare him right now, or?
Yeah.
And then no, he's actually trying to get him. And so we also see, not too far away, but not showing exactly where. We have Hoff and a generic bodyguard. I don't even know if she was ever on Baywatch.
Lifeguard.
Lifeguard. I meant. I don't know if she's ever been on Baywatch.
Yeah, just some random Baywatch lady.
Yeah, some Baywatcher. They're out in the yellow speedboat.
Yeah. So yeah, now it's Baywatch off.
Yeah, he's got the orange jacket on. So he's just like out cruising and kind of sees something. So kind of steers towards that, and then Dewey's like he knows the boat's got him lined up dead to rights. He's got no chance to avoid it. So he like grabs his surfboard and then like flips under the water to use the surfboard to like protect him, and the boat just goes square over him. Surfboard breaks in half. He goes like straight under the keel. And then Hoff pulls up and like Dewey's injured, but he's alive.
And the other speedboat just
It just
leaves.
jets. Yeah. And Hoff, being the gentleman, decides to stay in the boat and send the 98-pound blonde to go recover this injured guy.
Yeah, it's a little bit of an odd choice. I mean, I guess somebody has to be on the boat, but I mean, shouldn't it be him?
Yeah.
Shouldn't he go in there? But
I guess it depends on how much medical training she has.
could be.
Maybe she just doesn't know how to drive the boat because he won't let her.
It could. Yeah, it could be she has no idea how to fucking drive the boat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pulls up, sends out his lifeguard.
Yeah. Just throws her like a Pokemon.
Yep. I'll choose you, Blondie.
And so then Griff and Angie go to the apartment of the person of interest, and they knock on the door, no answer. So Angie immediately goes to pick the lock. While she's doing that, the manager comes up, and they immediately try a bluff check, and they immediately fail their bluff check. Mm-hmm. And he's basically like, "You guys gotta get the fuck out of here. You can come back later."
It's like there's not a lot of things I won't allow, but this is one of them.
Yeah. Now, what's weird is Hoff, evidently, I'm not sure if he tagged along and just hung out outside, or if he just happened to decide to go by too.
Yeah,
it's really unclear. There's no plan laid out.
Yeah.
But Hoff sees shit's gone sideways, so he metagames a little bit. He's like, oh, okay, I gotta rescue the situation. Those characters happens to show up at this time.
Right.
See somebody like doing some kind of work. And
some dude is doing some work like just outside the building.
Yeah.
And he has a toolbox.
Yeah, so Hoff just steals his toolbox. And he goes up, and then Hoff passes his bluff check, posing as the cable guy. And his bluff, he got a bonus on it because he offered the manager free cable. And that was his in. And so they go in.
Yeah, that is a funny thing. Like, so Hoff goes in, and then like a little bit later, it just shows Angie and Griff opening up the door.
Yeah.
And then Hoff's just there. So then just everybody's in.
Yeah. And so, this lady's got all kinds of stuff about McKenna. There's like a document on her laptop. This is a real old laptop.
Yeah.
It's the beauty of a laptop.
Very dated laptop.
Yeah. It looks like a leap top.
Yeah. He's got a picture of her.
There's like
recordings.
videotapes of like press conferences she did, and then audio recordings of her trying to do the voice and cadence and everything. Uh-huh. Obviously just studying for the role. It's like, we obviously know at this point, this lady is posing as McKenna.
She also have a corkboard with like red string.
And we skipped it a little bit, but they were marked beforehand when they figured out the fingerprints when they were talking about that lady. That she looks a little bit like McKenna, but with some.
Well, they said like she's the same height,
yeah,
same weight-ish, and she's got blonde hair, and like that could be not natural too, you know.
And different colored eyes.
Yeah, different colored eyes. And then,
so yeah, a little bit of plastic surgery and eye contacts and a wig or something.
Yeah. And so, yeah, Griff is like looking at a picture on the wall again. He's like, oh, you know, and when they're in there, he's kind of like, yeah, it checks
pretty
out.
Much confirms our suspicions.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they ask the manager, like, oh, do you have a way of getting a hold of her, the phone number or anything? And he's like, I got a pager number. And
funny thing about the manager, at this point, he's super cooperative.
Yeah, he's totally in on the situation now.
Uh-huh.
They don't even break it to him that he's not getting free cable.
Yeah.
And so then we cut to False McKinnon and Mac are like evil monologuing back and forth. I guess dialoguing.
Yes.
About the plan. And then the pager goes off. And so when she calls, Hoff's like, basically like, this whole fucking thing's just fucked for you. You're up shit creek, and you don't even know how far away from the paddle you are. He's like, as soon as this thing goes through, he's just going to kill you and just steal all the money. That's like 100% what's going to happen.
I think they said something about... Did they say something about like that this guy has done this sort of thing before?
They might have.
They might have. I don't remember at this point.
Yeah. But like, yeah, Hoff's like, yeah, he's just like, you're just fucking done. we know the game, and you're the pawn that gets sacrificed as soon as this shit goes down. And so she gets won over by this, and she tries to slip away. And the guy's like, oh, fuck it, no. Like, because she's like, oh, the manager said, like, you know, she has to go in. And he's like, why? And she's like, why do I care? And he's like, all the fucking plan is just laid out there. I just have it all just sitting out. Which is essentially true. She just does have, like, just basically like a box that says secret plan. Yeah. So he's like, all right. And then he's like, but just remember, like, what happens to people. And then there's like a flashback of him, like, shooting the real McKenna.
Right. It's a kind of weird. It's kind of weird the way it goes down.
Yeah.
Because what is it? They're talking about business stuff. Because Mac worked for her and wanted her to sell the business, and she didn't want it because, you know,
yeah,
it's her baby.
Life work, all that.
And he just immediately pulls out his murder suitcase,
Yeah.
opens it up, and pulls out a gun and shoots her.
Yeah, and he's wearing gloves, like, already. He's, like, ready to murder her. Like, as soon as this goes sideways, he's like,
Well, time to get murdered.
Yeah. I mean, when your option B is just no witnesses.
not even no witnesses. One witness, because he immediately shoots her, and then has fake McKenna come in. She sees real McKenna dead. He puts the gun down on the table, and it's like, come here. And then he's like, shoving her into a bag. And then he's like, hand me that. And so fake McKenna grabs the gun and hands it to him. And then, like, he throws it in the bag, too. And then, like, flashback ends, and he's like, remember? I had you hand me that gun. You weren't wearing gloves. Your fingerprints are all over that. So, basically, like, yeah, I have, fingerprints on the murder weapon, so that's the additional threat over her. I don't know why it's not just I can murder you too, but
I mean, I think he's trying to avoid to get into her mind that he's going to murder her. But yeah. Even though there's no strong, I don't think there's any actual indication that he was going to do it. He definitely was going to do it.
Yeah. And so then this fake McKenna meets up with Hoff and a detective who we've seen before. He's been in a few episodes. He's
Barry and the Hendersons?
No. What's funny is I looked him up because I was like, I've seen this. He's been in this before. But like, yeah, he has. What's funny is he's been as like a detective twice with the LAPD. Once as this name, once as a different name, and then before that he also appeared just as a cop. So like we've seen him progress through, including a name change. I don't know what the fuck. This guy's story might be more interesting than the Baywatch Night story.
True.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Well, I mean, the question is, why the name change, really?
Yeah, that's really... That's...
Did he get married?
Yeah.
Did he just have a...
But we know he's like buddies with Ellerby.
Are there shitty writers on
I just want the flashback of him and Ellerby just being buddy cops together. That's the show I want now.
That's true.
And so, this detective, I gotta say, he shows up for this one scene, fucks off again, and so does the rest of the police presence in this episode.
Yeah, basically. It's true.
It's really quite hilarious.
You could really use some cops during the end of this episode.
Yeah. So, he basically talks to her, and he's like, yeah, you gotta cooperate on this, or you're going down for this, one way or another. And so, and while she goes in, they had PC go with her to the apartment. And so, like, in order to cover for her, they had all her stuff, like, outside in the, on the sidewalk, and their cover is that the sprinkler went off. And so, like, so Angie has PC help her with, like, moving couch out of the way and stuff while they're breaking down to McKenna.
Again, the hotel manager continues to be very cooperative with this whole procedure.
He's an apartment manager.
Apartment manager.
Yeah. He's like the super.
Well, he knows what garbage bags mean.
And so then the fake McKenna is like on board now, and she goes back to Mac, and Hoff calls with the worst impersonation, like his fake accent.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he was trying to do.
It was supposed to be an English accent.
Yeah, they
but
take
it veered pretty hard towards Don Corleone too.
Yes. Yes.
It was awful.
It's a weird accent. It doesn't sound like him.
No. At least it doesn't sound like him. It's a real weird one though. And then like they play a recording of McKenna saying some stuff.
Yeah, like Angie presumably has chopped together like her voice clips in order to make sentences for.
I don't think that's actually what happened.
That's what it seems like.
I think.
Or he's just,
no, I think it was. I think they just had fake McKenna.
Oh, you think they had
the
fake
lines?
I suppose that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes way more sense. Yeah, I was thinking way more complicated stuff.
Yeah. You didn't boot up fucking GarageBand for this. So yeah. So they play the lines to him so that he thinks McKenna's alive.
Right.
And So they're both in Angie's SUV out front, and so immediately like Mac and PC are like, oh fuck, she's alive, and so they go, and what they're doing is, and this is kind of vaguely laid out because the thing the LAPD is looking for is the body.
Right. That's what they need.
So you figure pretty quickly, okay, they're just trying to get them to lead them to the body. So Mac and PC peel out, and then Hoff and Angie tail them. And this is where I expected, like, maybe a cop car to be following them.
Yeah.
It seemed like, oh, maybe the cop car moved. No cop car. Okay. That's fine. We've seen them spring the cop trap before.
Right.
Right? This is the classic thing you do in a graveyard.
Yeah. Well, you do it in any sort of dark
I know.
place.
But it's explicitly the graveyard maneuver.
True.
That's what 100%. They know how to do the graveyard maneuver.
Right. They've done it before. They did it recently.
Yeah. So instead, they don't hear. So the two Mac and PC, they go up to the, like, it's supposed to be, I don't know, it's this weird dock area.
Yeah, it's by the docks, and there's these weird sort of storage containers.
Yeah.
They're not like full blown like trucks, like semi truck size, but they're more like
they're like those pallet-sized water tanks.
Yeah.
It's like that size, but they're not those pallet-sized water tanks. They're something else.
Uh-huh.
And so they go to open one up. They're like looking around. They're like, oh wait, this one.
And they're like,
This
she's
one.
got to be in here.
Yeah. And they start to open it, and then McKenna comes out from behind stuff in the shadows, wearing like a sling. And she's got a different outfit on than the fake McKenna we saw earlier. So they're like, what? How could that be? And some bullshit back and forth, and then fucking Hoff and Angie just fucking walk out. It's like, fucking...
We got you.
Yeah.
We got you on tape.
Yeah, this jigs up. Yeah. Andy's got the tape recorder of them admitting to shooting McKenna, and then, oh, it was fake McKenna all along. You Scooby-Doo trickery of just removing the sling.
If it wasn't for you meddling private investigators.
Yeah. And so then immediately...
And then shootout.
Yeah. So, like... Well, first they just throw, like, the crowbar at him.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, throw crowbar. And then shoot out. And at first I was like, this is turning into a gunfight. None of the good guys even have a gun. But then Angie pulls out a gun. I'm like, oh shit, okay, at least they came semi-prepared. They should have had the cops here. Instead they're like, it's just the two of us in this dark place with a tape recorder.
Yeah.
Nothing bad can go on here.
Yeah, it 100% they could have died, and then the bad guys just win.
Yeah. So the shootout happens. Andy's got the gun. Hoff is just counting on the fact that they're near the water for the situation to work out. That's his only card here. Mm-hmm. So they're like shooting back and forth. Mac and PC like work their way towards their car to just get out of there. Hoff just seemingly runs away for a moment.
Yeah, he just books it in some direction. You don't know.
He's like, Angie, cover me while I run the fuck away.
You stay here and fight these two men.
Yeah, you know.
I will leave and go and enter safety.
Yeah. So he runs off, and then as they're pulling away, Angie licks off some more shots at him. Nothing really hits, and then we cut to Hoff now.
You find what he's been running towards.
Yes. He's run towards the lever of wacky hijinks.
Yeah. For some reason, by this dock, there's just a bunch of like spare tires.
Yeah,
just hanging out on this rack.
Yeah.
And if you push this lever, they just all fall out.
Yeah.
Comedically into the street.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, it seemed like they just designed this to be like a playset for like kids.
Right.
You like pull the lever and release the tires. And then the car just totally flips over. It like hits the tires and flips over. And then it's like the car's on fire now. And then like PC like gets out and Hoff just grabs him. He's like, gotcha, sucker. And he's like, yeah, fuck it, I ain't got nothing. And then as Mac's running away, Angie like stops, has the gun, and just totally shoots like a FPS barrel.
Yeah, straight up red barrel out of a video game. It
Yeah.
just explodes. And knocks him over and
Yeah.
incapacitates him so that they can collect him.
Yeah, he kind of incapacitates him. This part is really kind of funny, too, because they just pick him up, and then Angie and Hoff are just walking with him, and they're just like, fuck it, I guess we're caught. And they just walk with him. There's no restraint, really. They're just walking, like, with a hand on the shoulder, like, gotcha, sucker. I'm like, yeah, I guess you do. Gig's up. I guess I'll go get arrested for murder.
I mean, the only thing is that I guess she has a gun. And they don't now, presumably.
Maybe. We don't know.
Well, I mean, they could have easily lost their gun the guns in the crash.
Yeah. But, yeah, we don't know. There's no...
Yeah, it's not clear.
No.
And it's basically just talking about how she didn't really make that shot. She didn't really know how to shoot a barrel in the precise way to make it explode.
Yeah.
And she's just like, yes, I do.
Yeah, Hoff and Angie argue about that while they walk back towards the dock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no.
I'm not sure why they're walking over there.
I don't know.
But maybe they just murdered...
That's where their car is.
Maybe they just murdered both of them and just shoved them in those containers.
For all we know. Because that wraps that up.
Yeah, that's the end of that story. No cops involved at all, which is why I'm leaning towards the murder.
Yeah.
I mean, Hoff did wear his murder jacket this episode.
Nah, you got a good point. I forgot about that. No.
Yeah, once he has spilled blood, he's got the.
It all adds up.
Yeah.
And they do have that treatment plant they can always go back to.
So now.
Steam plant Platypus.
Yeah. So now the only story to wrap up is Dark Zack and Griff story. So evil Zack approaches Griff, and Griff dips around a corner, and the guy's like,
Mr. Belding.
He's like, I thought you'd get away from me, and Griff's like, no, I just didn't want to do this in public. I don't want to embarrass you. And basically tries to just get him to drop everything. Like, yeah, you don't need to do this. There's no one here to impress. And Zach's like, fuck you, and takes a swing. And then Griff just decks him once and then passes his intimidate check.
Yeah.
He's like, back the fuck off. I don't want to kick your ass.
Yeah. Well, what is it? He de-escalates. He tries to de-escalate by saying that he's not really upset about the comments. It's just he wants to protect his girlfriend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's being a real dick about the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then, of course, this guy isn't willing to listen to reason, and
yeah,
requires the intimidate check.
Yeah. And then the final button on this episode is Hoff and Dewey talking on the pier. And this really does... Oh, God, I forgot how well this wraps up with the Bigfoot thing. Mm-hmm. You remember what Dewey does? So at the end, Dewey's like, well... He's like, I always liked the ocean. It was because I like being here with McKenna. But now I guess I just go to the mountains. So he just...
Oh, he really was Bigfoot.
He was a Bigfoot all along. That's the end of the episode.
Yeah, and yeah, it just sucks for that because they never really talked about his wife being dead.
Yeah.
Up until now.
Yeah, but he's 100% dead in a barrel.
Because at the start, he just thought she was captured somewhere, but now she's dead.
Yeah.
Just fucking dead.
Yeah. And so the sad Bigfoot just wanders off to the mountains. Mm-hmm. Where he can meet John Lithgow.
Where he can... Yeah. Where he can stay just out of camera lenses. And...
Yeah.
Be as unfocused in pictures as this episode is. Alright. Ooh, rating this one's weird.
It is a weird one to rate. It's not...
What do we got around the 3.3?
Yeah, it's pretty blah. The B plot is just nothing.
Yeah.
And the only thing in it is a vague Aesop about the dude just being really insecure about his girlfriend and everything.
Yeah. And there's no Ellerby.
There's no Ellaby, which is a big minus, of course.
Yeah. And the A plot, like,
The A-plot's serviceable, but
yeah, there's no. It's pretty straightforward. It just happens,
right.
and there's not really stakes because all the stakes have already happened for the most part.
Right. It's just a matter of like the wife's already dead. She's dead at the start of the story.
Yeah.
She's been dead at the start of the story too.
Yeah. So I guess what's really on the line here is a swimsuit company. Like, who gives a fuck?
Well, yeah. I mean that and them literally getting away with murder.
Yeah.
That's what's really on the line. Is her murderers getting away with it?
Well, So what's around the 3.3?
Well, 3.25 is pressure cooker.
Lower.
Which, yeah, it notably has Ellerby in it, so it's automatically a better episode.
What about just 3?
Well, there's nothing at 3. Bad Blades was rated at a 2.
2.7? Well, actually, wait. Is it better than Bad Blades?
That's what I'm questioning at this point.
Yeah. It's better than Blues Boy, 100%.
Well, yeah, Blues Point is a 0.5.
I know, but
And it still might be rated
What's
too
at a
high.
1?
Nothing's at 1.
it might be out of work because Bad Blades is goofy enough to be fun.
Yeah, and there's weird parts of Bad Blades.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, we might have underrated Bad Blades a little bit.
We probably did, but it is nonsensical.
Yeah.
That was a big problem with Bad Blades. It was just why any of this?
So just call it a 1?
Like this makes sense.
It's been a while since we've had just a straight number.
Well, there's gaps there too.
This makes sense, but it's boring.
Yeah.
And even then, the amount of sense it makes is a little bit loose. Like, it's not really clear why this guy went all the way to murder to make her sell this.
And we don't know how, like, where he fits into the business.
Right.
So how he gets to be the one that benefits from the sale.
Yeah.
Because presumably this husband guy, the whole plot should have been them trying to kill the husband.
Yeah.
Because if he's dead, he's not entitled to half of whatever they make selling it.
Yeah, the plot should be they've done the whole doppelganger thing, and now they're just trying to kill the husband.
That should 100% be the plot, because now it's like, oh, if the divorce goes through, he's just entitled to half of the sale that happened.
Yeah.
They should be stringing him along not push the divorce and try to lure him into a kill, and he should be like, oh, she's off.
Well, my
That should be the
understanding
plot.
is that since the dude has orchestrated the thing, orchestrated the murder, and since McKenna would get the money, she just basically just gives the money to him.
Well, yeah, I know, but the problem is you can't. It's like, what are you gonna do? You're like, oh, there's just this multi-million-dollar cashier's check,
Yeah, well, I mean, it would probably be some.
and since there's a
Some
separation heading towards a divorce, you can't.
Yeah, I know, but yeah.
They should have been they should have done 180 on the Bigfoot. They should have been trying to convince the Bigfoot that everything's working out okay, so they can draw him in and murder him.
Right.
That should have been the plot. And if that was the plot, and Ellerby was there, we could kick this up to like a 4 or 5.
Oh yeah, easy. So
But then
yeah,
they would have had to get John Lithgow, and it just wasn't going to happen.
I think let's go.
Well,
with
if John Lithgow was there, I mean, it might have gone up to a 7-ish.
Yeah, true. I think you're right. 1 sounds about good.
Yep, there we go.
All right.
There's a few whole numbers we actually left open so far. We don't have a 3 or a 4. And then...
But we do have a 4.20 plus minus 69.
yeah.
Yeah, we do.
And a 4.63 plus or minus 24. And then the other whole numbers we have empty are 8, 9, and 10.
Of course we do.
We did not know Silent Witness was a 10 instead of a 7.5. So that really fucked us.
I mean, to be fair, it's not really a 10.
No, but this is supposed to just be the Baywatch night scale.
Right.
We didn't know it peaked at episode 3. That's the problem.
How could we have known?
Yeah.
I mean, that still had 2 of the best characters in it. To be fair,
Yeah.
it's the series has shucked itself of main characters all
Yeah.
the time.
Like, after this is over and we re-normalize the scale, like, that's going to be the 10.
I don't know what you're talking about with renormalize.
Well, this is just going to be the codified... We're going to codify this as the Season 1 scale. And then, I mean, to be fair, Season 2 is practically a different show as it is.
No, season 2 is going to have to do this all over again.
Yeah.
That's the worst part.
Yeah.
And I don't... And see, we have to be as conservative with the early episodes. We don't know if Season 2, Episode 3 is going to be the best of the series.
Yeah. That was the problem.
Yeah.
We had no idea what to... We had to leave room for something.
Yeah.
It wasn't that good of an episode.
But you were so wrong.
But to be fair, like, when we look back on it, so much of it is so much better.
Mm-hmm.
They have an amusement park fight. How cool is that?
They have a shootout on a merry-go-round, and that's just in the start.
Yeah. This is the bullshit in the beginning.
It's not even an A plot or a B plot,
No.
really.
Jesse almost gets hit by a very tiny train.
But anyway, next episode.
Yep, next episode is the season finale. And this one I've looked at multiple times because the name is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
This is
I'm really excited to find out the German name for this one.
Heat Rays.
Yeah.
Heat rays?
Heat
Yep.
rays. I'm really hoping straight up, tripods and shit. But no, that's not the case. We're not in that season yet.
No. Sadly...
Maybe they're opening the multiverse for Ray Stantz from Ghostbusters.
By your guess.
I'm gonna guess some nonsense involving a tanning salon.
Oh man, that's a really good guess. It is not that though. Mitch investigates the members of a 1970s surfer rock band. When members of a 1970s surfer rock band died during a reunion at the beach. So sadly, I think the Heat Rays is the name of the band, which is just sadly disappointing.
Well, if one of them gets murdered in a tanning bed, that'll take
Yeah, you get bonus points then. Then you're going to be the sole arbiter of the ranking of this episode if one of them dies in a tanning bed.
I didn't even get a guess.
I thought yours was the Ray Stantz.
Yeah, you said race.
Oh, you're right. I preemptive. I was making a joke, but whatever.
That's usually what your fucking prediction is.
You make the joke prediction. I make the semi-serious prediction.
All right.
I mean, usually, and then I
mean, it was that one time I did the clown ninjas, but how could I not vote clown ninjas?
To be fair, usually I say the name of the episode. You'll interject with something stupid. I'll ask for your predictions. You'll say, I already said this, so I just skipped that part this time.
You know he's right.
And you would have said that, too.
That's all right. I can decide it all right.
Okay, yeah. Let's see. This looks like might be new people all the way around on this one. Let me check. Yeah. We got
Completely new nonsense.
new writers and directors here on this one.
Mm-hmm.
One of them has a Wikipedia page.
Oh,
Yeah.
styling.
This one was not directed by TBA.
Damn. One of these days we'll find out who's going to direct that episode.
Any day now.
It's really impressive that they've managed to do it without a director.
Yeah.
I mean, is that their
Oh,
version?
wow.
I'm pretty sure that's just their version of Alan Smithy, so...
So the director of this has worked as the second unit director on James Bond movies before. That's pretty highfalutin in the world of Baywatch Nights.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
He was the title sequence director of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
You gotta leave it at that.